Okay, here we are today again. Uh, this is just a little video for running through a few laws here in Arizona. Now, there are a few other sites from attorneys about, you know, private, citizens arresting, citizens arrest, but I want to break down all the laws. I actually have the laws here. These are directly from the Arizona Revised Statutes. These are word for word what is written under the law. Uh, so if you really need it, I'll be here to help you out with it. This is basically breaking down what I am going to have to do to deal with a certain person that shows up at my house and causes trouble. Like uh, this was the first police report that I have for an incident. Uh, this is my restraining order. This is a injunction against harassment. This guy shows up at my house. He yells, he screams, he causes distress. It is bordering on harassment right now and stalking. So I'm going to be next time he shows up, if I can't get it directly, I'm going to go in and request uh, him being charged with stalking, because under the stalking clause right here, a person commits stalking if the person intentionally or knowingly engages in a cause of conduct that is directed toward another person, and if that conduct causes the victim to suffer emotional distress or reasonably fear that either the victim's property will be damaged or destroyed, or any of the following: physically injured, family member, domestic animal, livestock. Uh, it, there's a few sets in there. I mean, you know, this kid's threatened to burn down the house. He's threatened to knock me out. He's threatened to go after my family. It's just been an ongoing thing for almost a year now. So, uh, under Arizona law, a private person, can arrest another person if they witness them committing a misdemeanor or a felony. Now, uh, under under the law, misdemeanor was, uh, kind of a weird thing to put on there because, spitting on the sidewalk, misdemeanor, stuff like that. But they did, you know, put a little bit more into it. Breach of the peace means a seriously disruptive behavior as prohibited by Arizona's disorderly conduct. And disorderly conduct is with intent to disturb the peace or quiet of a neighborhood, family, or person with knowingly knowledge of doing so. Such person engages in fighting, disruptive behavior, makes unreasonable noise, or uses abusive or offensive language or gestures to any person present in a manner to likely provoke immediate physical retaliation. Now, that's like, you know, uh, somebody coming out and calling you out, calling you names in hopes to get a rise out of you, in hopes to get your attention to where you want to fight them. That falls under a lot of things, and uh, you know, if they're there for no other purpose than to cause alarm, then they have no excuse. This kid says, "Well, I live across the street. That's my house." No, it's not. The house is registered to his father, and it's condemned. Nobody lives there. Nobody can live there. Uh, Even the police and the city have an ordinance where that child, this kid who's 23 years old, is not allowed on that property unless he is there with his father. And he's not there with his father. He's showing up and coming to my side of the street and standing in front of my house, parked in front of my house, not even going to that house. He's specifically coming to my side of the house, or my side of the street, and calling things to me, yelling things to me. He's not there for any other purpose. He can make up any reason that he wants, but because he's there and not actually going to the house, he has no excuse. I have it on camera. It's on video. I sent them video of his first appearance where he showed up to my house, was yelling at me to stop calling the cops. I'm allowed to be there. It's my house. And then I've got the whole city with the city paperwork showing that it's not his house. He doesn't live there. It's condemned. He has no legal claim to the house. The house is being demolished in a couple weeks. But where it sits is, if he shows up to my house and starts yelling and screaming things at me, I have legal authority to place him under citizen's arrest. And it's not like, come here and I grab you and that. Under Arizona law, in order to perform citizen's arrest, you have to state, I'm placing you under citizen's arrest for this crime, and then you can take them into custody. And when you do so, let's see, method of arrest, you got the method of arrest here, and duty. See, the method of arrest, private person, when making an arrest, shall inform the person to be arrested of the intention of to arrest him or her, and the cause of the arrest, unless he or she is then engaged in the commission of an offense, or is pursued immediately after its commission, or after an escape, or flees or forcibly resist before the person making the arrest has an opportunity so to inform him or her, or when the giving of such information will imperil the arrest. Basically, what it's saying is, a person has to inform the person that they're being arrested under citizen's arrest and why they're being arrested. And what it's saying, the engaging, like if they're engaging in the act in itself, or if the person runs before you can say it, you can't like give chase. Don't do it, because then you're putting your life at risk. But if you notify them and then they come towards you, then that is them engaging in fighting behavior, and that there adds another charge. That would be another one. That's another disturbing the peace or disorderly conduct. So you can notify them if they're breaking the law. Like this kid, he's cussing and swearing and causing a scene and threatening me. That's one charge. And then if I say that I'm putting him under citizen's arrest and he comes after me, then that's another one. And then that goes into felony charge. The right of private person to break into a building. If you see somebody like through if you're at a closed store, you're walking past a closed store and you can see inside somebody stealing and they're wearing a ski mask and whatnot. You can break into that building. You can place them under citizen's arrest. You can break through the window, like right to break door or window to effect a release. If you break into the building, you can use that same door or exit. Or if you're already in a building and you see an act or whatever, but you're stuck inside the building, you can break your way to get out of the building. You as a private citizen, you are allowed to take weapons or possessions from a person who has been arrested, and you can perform the same duty as an officer, but you have to have proof. You have to have proof. You can't just say that you saw it. You have to have proof. If you saw them doing something, you have to swear under oath that you saw it. You have to be the witness in your own charge. Arrest after escape or rescue, that's basically that's a whole other story. But then we go into duty of a private person after making an arrest. Here's This is where it falls in line. There are a lot of misconceptions that when you make a citizen's arrest, you have to stand where you're at, call police, and wait for police to arrive. No. Uh, in Arizona, the duty of a person after making an arrest is to immediately take them to a magistrate or a police department or the closest police officer. If you have to call one, call one. If you can take them, down the street to a place, or if you have to drive them somewhere under that. Now, when doing so, you have to be absolutely positive that a crime has been committed. Otherwise, you can be charged with kidnapping, false imprisonment, false arrest. You can get hit with all this, and as a private person, you do not have qualified immunity as police officers do. So you can see a lot of issues with that. You have to be sure. Don't just go out just arresting people left and right like Wyatt Earp or something. Uh, you have to go into court. This right here, right, this right here, this guy right here. All of this. This is what you have to deal with. This right here. Private person who has made an arrest shall, without necessary delay, take the person arrested before the nearest or most accessible magistrate in the county in which the arrest was made, or deliver the person arrested to a peace officer. You can literally hop in your vehicle, take them to the police department or to a local court, or call the police and have them do it. Now, that is the big thing is you have to be sure when it happens. I can't stress it enough. Don't just run out and arrest people for stupid stuff. It has to be a sure thing. It has to be a sure thing. Otherwise, you are screwed. Now, I've got a few other things on here. Cases interfering with judicial proceedings. That falls in line with my harassment here. Once that is filed, once it's actually finalized, because in order for this harassment and this trespass to be valid in the courts, they have to actually serve the paperwork. This guy, he runs from the cops, and just so you know what's going on with that, let's see what we got here. Yeah, he is currently on the run for failure to appear in the second degree on 2 charges here. Let's see, there's another one. I want to say it's this one. Yeah, this one here. He's got multiple warrants issued here. I mean, we're talking. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So five warrants for one guy. 5 warrants out for one guy already. He's got multiple addresses listed, but all of them are bad addresses, so they can't serve these until they find him or until he's caught. And I'm probably going to have to do that myself because he's too quick for him. Because he shows up here and he causes his stir, he throws out his threats, he starts his jaw jacking, and the moment I pick up the phone and start calling, he takes off down the road and disappears, and then the police show up and they go out looking for him, and they'll be on one side of the street or one end of the street going one way, and he'll be driving away on the other side of the street, and it's just cat and mouse. Now, criminal trespass in the 3rd degree. This is his was either 1st degree or let's see, 1st degree. He was charged with 1st degree, but they might bump it down to 3rd degree because he didn't enter the property. He was just under my patio on that covering there, which is technically inside a home because it is part of the house. So there's the three forms of it: third degree, second degree, and first degree. These right here are things like if somebody comes onto your property, you can perform citizen's arrest under these uh, circumstances here. These these are big things. Uh, then I have on here the justification for self-defense and justification of deadly physical force, deadly force uh, under all these different laws, justifications for defense of a third person, like if he comes here and he starts attacking a family member or attacking my animals, I can defend those animals and those people. I can do that. Physical force in defense of premises. If he comes onto my property, he's trying to break into my property, or he's trying to damage my property in any way, I can defend that property just as if I was defending myself. Uh, Physical force in defense of property, justification of use of force in crime prevention. Basically, if I see him running up to my vehicle with a baseball bat, I can jump in and intervene at any moment. Use of force in defense of residential structure or occupied vehicles. There's that. Presumptions, defense of residential structure, occupied vehicle. You have all your presumptions right here. They like here in Arizona, the castle doctrine is not just your home and your address, it extends to your vehicle. If you are in your vehicle on the highway, if you're in your vehicle at a parking lot, if you're in your vehicle parked in a parking garage, or if you're on a boat in the middle of a lake in Arizona, that is your castle. You will have the right to defend it. Defensive display of a firearm. Uh, Now, in order for you to have these, I mean, you really have to study this stuff. You can't just, you know, flash your gun anytime you want. You can't just point it at anybody you want. There has to be reasoning behind it. Uh, you can't you can't pull your gun if you're the one that's calling somebody out. You can't, argue with somebody and say, I'm going to kick your ass, and then them pull a knife, and then you pull a gun. No. You were the aggressor. You were the one that committed a crime. And then I've got the misconduct involving weapons, your defenses, your definitions, all the language, all the lovely stuff. I mean, this one's a long one. I mean, look how long that is. And then finally, obstruction, government operations, and then I actually added on here the misdemeanors, what the sentences are for those. So people are like, well, what's the difference between class 1, class 2, class 3? What are the differences? These are what you're looking at. Class 1 misdemeanor, 6 months. Class 2 is 4 months, and Class 3 is 30 days. I mean, most of the stuff like trespassing and stuff, it'll be like a Class 3, but sometimes it's Class 1. There's so much about it. I mean, it's ridiculous. But mainly, like ever since ever since the guy's dad got out of prison, it was all hell. It was all hell broke loose. This guy got out of prison. He got the woman evicted from the house that he owns, who was staying there illegally. So she got kicked out, and he moved in, but the house was destroyed. So now we're waiting on that to get finished up and demolished. And we've had issues. Uh, that's the guy right there. And I mean, look at these charges. This is just the minor stuff. This is one of the 3 recent arrests that he had. I mean, but like I said, this kid, almost every charge on here is traffic court. See, I think this one here, yeah, that one's out of Phoenix, and as you can see, he's got another failure to appear. But because of how Mojave County works, Mojave County does not transport to any other county because we don't have that extradition clause in our own state, which is really stupid because the way it works is the police don't transport people to and from places. They have a third-party transportation company that does it. It's basically like a security force with their own armored vans and own armored buses, and they are the ones that transport people to and from prisons in the county and take them up to the jail. It's a private organization, and it costs way too much to bus somebody from here to Phoenix. I mean, we're talking like $1,000 city money, and if they transported everybody that had a failure to appear, it'd be like $100,000, and we'd go broke transporting all these people. So that's that. But I mean, this whole deal with these people, I mean, I've got so much stuff. I mean, pages and pages and pages. We've been fighting it for a while, but there's finally that light at the end of the tunnel. When on the 20th, when the House is officially deemed condemned, and it's put up on the bidding site for demolition, then the kid can't claim the address as his anymore for anything, any reason at all. I mean, let's see, what was that one? Let's see, where is it? Let's see. They had a whole bunch of them. See, this is why his this right here is why his is a second degree, because he had a warrant issued, he showed up, and then he had another warrant issued, and he didn't show up, and then now he's got another thing. But it's like this is why he keeps getting all this stuff. I mean, he pleads guilty to one, pleads guilty to the other, and then they drop a charge. But one of these guys, it shows why. Yeah, this right here. Yeah. Address marked bad. Address marked bad. Address marked bad. He keeps updating his address, and every time he updates the address, it's a bad address. They go to it, and he doesn't live there, or it's a vacant lot. I mean, one of the officers told me that they went to one of his previous addresses, and it's a restaurant. So, I mean, this kid's just he's just bad news. But I mean, there's so much going on, in the world. I wanted people to understand that. I mean, you here in Arizona, when it comes to citizens arrest, we have things that we can do. We have laws in place that protect the citizen, and as long as you understand these things, I have some of these highlighted, like the actual statute number and the title, and I have them on a little laminated cue card that I carry with me all the time when I'm out and about. I have one in my car, one in my truck, one in my quad, and then I have a small wallet-sized one that I carry with me in my wallet. So if anything happens and I do end up having to perform any act as a citizen and arresting somebody as a citizen, I can show that to the officer and be like, look, here is the laws that I was following. This is what happened. And then it protects me in a way that I don't have to jump through hoops. The officer doesn't have to like try and dig up something or look at something. I don't have to physically remember everything word for word. I can be like, okay, this is the main part of the law. This that I understand and know offhand, but here's the statute number. Look that up. I also have municipal codes for our area in specific things like peddlers, the people that come door to door. They actually sign a contract with the city saying that they will abide by the laws, and if they don't abide by those laws, they can be arrested and charged with trespass. And the contract that's signed with the city says that if they trespass, they go onto a property that has a posted sign, they can actually go to jail for it. So, I mean, there's a lot of laws out there that people don't understand, and I just wanted to break down a few of these for the people that don't really know, because as it sits, the videos that I'm seeing online that break these down, they break them down, but they only show like a little snippet, and the videos are like 10 minutes or less. I mean, I want you to actually be able to see these and know them. I mean, these are important. So, that being said, I'll talk to you guys later. We'll see how things go.